been so nice to hear the buzz in the room and see everybody enjoying themselves. This is a really wonderful venue, and it's a great opportunity for us to honour our staff and thank all of you in this room for everything you do. And as well as our shortlisted candidates, we're delighted to see representatives from our partners, sponsors, our Council of Governors, and our non-executive directors here this evening. So welcome to everybody, and I hope you're going to enjoy this part of the evening. And just to run through the form for what we're about to do, we're going to read out the names for each shortlisted candidate in each category of award. But we're only asking the winners to come up so that we don't get a traffic jam on stage and take too long about it. Sponsors, please join us on stage for the presentation of your categories of award if you would like to. As Marcus said earlier, we're going to keep the shaking of hands to a minimum. In fact, there's no shaking of hands, but we would be really pleased if... Okay, you can wave those funny hands. That's fine, come on, wave them. Yeah, okay. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of that. So every candidate who's been shortlisted this evening has done it against very strong competition, and I was amazed to learn that 675 colleagues had been nominated for awards, and it's just a tribute, I think, to the great work that takes place across the Trust, and also the esteem in which people hold their colleagues when they see the work that they're doing. So that's fantastic. Everybody who has been shortlisted will receive a certificate, and you can collect your certificates from the desk where you signed in after the ceremony. But also, if you're not able to do that, we will send your certificate through the internal post. So look out for that. That's a little reward coming. We've got a photographer here this evening, but please let any member of the team know if you don't want photographs taken. So the team have all got lanyards on. You can see them here, and they'll be very happy to make sure that you don't have photos taken. Otherwise, we're going to assume that you have given consent for it. So with no more ado, I'm passing over to Mark.
Thank you, Deborah. Well, as you know, I'm just subbing this evening for Deb Lee, who has been taken ill. Just an update, she's made a complete physical recovery and is trying to rest at home. She's taken up knitting and a few other hobbies, which I'm sure she will tell you all about when she returns fully fit in August, when we expect her back. Well, it's been...
Yeah, I know. And if I can just add to what Mark said, I phoned her up for a pastoral conversation the other day, and she told me she'd cleaned out her knicker drawer. So that's how desperate she is to come back to work.
Well, how do you go from knickers to COVID? So our last awards was in 2019. It's amazing to think, isn't it? And it's wonderful to be back together again. But what a couple of years it has been. And I was trying to think of a memory or a story to share that summed up COVID. But there are so many, and there is no one story that sums it up for me without saying more about one person or one team or one part of the organisation than another. So what sums it up for me is that we did it together. And we were good, weren't we? It's been a very tough year to judge the nominations. Fortunately, that was done before Deb went off, so please, it's not my responsibility. One or two people have told me if they don't get the award, they'll have to quell their inner Will Smith. But I've been practicing my ducking. So as well as the large number of nominations, we've had a record number of patients engaging with the awards this year as well, which is wonderful to see as well. As Deborah said, COVID is still with us. You might only have to shake hands once, but we have to shake hands several times, and I might have COVID, so you probably don't want to shake my hand.
Step away.
And I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. And back to Deborah.
So now to the first of our awards, which is the Support Services Ambassador. And this has been a very popular category, which we introduced about 7 years ago. And it's to reward a team or individual working within a non-clinical support service. And whatever they do, they'll have delivered work that is consistently above the expectations of patients or colleagues. So the shortlisted nominees are Catherine Griffin and the bereavement team.
Catherine and her team have the vital role of processing death certificates, dealing with the coroner's office, and most importantly, speaking to and consoling bereaved families every day. The emotional load of working throughout the pandemic has been significant, and they've responded with empathy, efficiency, and a great care for all the families involved.
And the next shortlisted colleague is Fiona Wilson.
As admin support on Woodman Coat Ward, Fiona is everyone's go-to for help, and nothing is too small or problematic. She has fantastic working relationships with everyone she comes into contact with and is always positive and happy. Fiona is truly a role model to all staff, and the ward say they would be lost without her.
And now we go on to Abdul Rahman Khalek.
Described as a rising star in the EPR team, Abdur brings enthusiasm, energy, and a huge thirst for learning. He joined the configuration team in August 2020 and was a key part of the team working on site to support staff with EPR during a challenging time. Abdur represents the whole digital IT team whenever he goes into clinical areas, and no job is too big, small, or too much trouble.
And the award goes to Catherine Griffin and the bereavement team.
I shouldn't say this, but it was Catherine that threatened me with a left hook, actually. And so much for COVID rules, eh? No handshaking, but lots of hugging. The next category is the Junior Doctor of the Year shortlist. Nominated by colleagues from all professional groups, this is awarded to an individual who's provided excellent clinical care and surpassed the expectations of the teams they work alongside. If an ID medical representative would like to join us on stage now, please do so.
Yeah, you have to dance.
And the first nominee is Jessica Monks.
Foundation Dr. Jess was described as truly amazing at her job, taking thorough care of each and every one of her patients, who she treats with respect and dignity. As well as ensuring that patients are listened to, Jess also takes time to look out for colleagues, including nursing staff. The nomination said, "I can't praise her enough."
And the next nominee is Christine Cadman.
Christine has been an incredibly hard-working foundation doctor whose compassion for patients make her stand out. Her positive attitude and wide range of abilities were commended in her nomination, which also said that she takes on every extra challenge with ease. The nomination said, "Christine is generally the best foundation doctor I have ever worked with, and I feel this should be recognised."
And the next nomination is Bashir Mohammed.
Urology Clinical Fellow Bashir is an outstanding member of the team, always smiling and determined to go the extra mile. His care for patients and positive attitude has been commended by patients and colleagues alike. Bashir has recently completed his MRCS exams at the same time as having a young family. His nomination describes him as a huge asset to his profession and to our trust.
And the award goes to Bashir Mohammed.
Goodness, they're getting all excited. This award is for exceptional contribution to the patient experience. This award recognises teams or individuals who have taken steps to engage with our patients and to improve services for their benefit. Since patients are at the centre of everything we do, this wide-reaching award is for an individual or a team who have either personally or through the development of their service delivered inspired and exceptional care. And of course, this award has been given by an individual who is very grateful for the care that he received at our hands. So this is from Barry Priest. And the nominees are, first of all, Helen Hicks.
Helen always puts patients first and goes out of her way to ensure that the support they receive is caring, compassionate and professional. A familiar face in the Macmillan Hub, she provides unwavering support and kindness at what is often the most difficult time in a patient's life. Her nomination said, "Helen always gives it her all."
And the next person is Joel Bonner.
As the patient experience lead in the emergency department, Joel has made a positive impact on the patient experience. He phones every patient's next of kin to update them, arranges hospital meals, organises newspaper deliveries, arranged volunteers for hot drinks rounds, and sourced a mobile phone charging hub to ensure patients can stay in touch with their families. During what's been the most difficult time to be a patient in ED, Joel's warmth and compassionate nature have made a real difference to patients.
And the next shortlisted team is the Paediatric Diabetes team.
The Paediatric Diabetes team provided an innovative drive-through HbA1c clinic during the COVID-19 pandemic, which enabled children and young people with type 1 diabetes to continue to be monitored. This solution allowed testing and monitoring to continue during lockdown, with the clinic running during the day and into the early evening to ensure that families could attend at a time that was convenient for them. This helped to reduce the impact of the condition on the future health of children and young people.
And the award goes to Joel Bonner. So I'm led to understand that Joel is on holiday in Santorini, and so his colleagues have accepted the award on his behalf. Well done.
The next award is the Innovation Award. We place real value on good ideas and encourage a culture where innovation is celebrated. This could be innovation for a single project, a team, a group of innovators, or other improvements that have benefited patients. If an AHSN representative would like to join us on stage, please do so. And the first nominee is Donna Davis.
Donna started a new role as a blood conservation coordinator in 2020, and her initiative and enthusiasm have been instrumental in driving the use of cell salvage in theatres, which has risen from just 37 patients in 2018 to being set up for 1,600 patients in 2021. This demonstrates the huge impact Donna has made. In 2021, a staggering 225 litres of salvaged blood was reinfused to patients, equating to approximately 800 units of allogenic blood saved, which confers both huge patient benefits and significant cost savings.
And the next nomination is to Joe Colliver and Nathan Collicott.
Joe, Nathan and the team have been working on reducing term admission, and their development of a new respiratory pathway that delivers care at the bedside not only reduces the need to admit babies to the unit, but also reduces the separation of the mother and baby. This enhances bonding and ensures that neonatal cots are available for sick babies who need them.
That's lovely. Yeah, lovely.
The next nomination goes to the Respiratory High Care team.
Respiratory high care was set up for the sickest respiratory patients after COVID Wave 1. It meant that patients were cared for in the right setting, freeing up critical care capacity to look after the most unwell patients and allowing DCC to continue with emergency and elective cancer surgery without any additional delays. The team was drawn from the existing workforce, and they have worked exceptionally hard to maintain this service.
And the award goes to Donna Davis.
So I'm pleased to be able to announce the next award, which is the Equality and Diversity Award. This is awarded to a member of staff whose substantive role is not equality related, but who nevertheless has advanced equality, diversity and inclusion in their role. Colour Connection, please, if you would like to come up to the stage and join us. The Colour Connection are our sponsors for this award. Here he is. Well done, nice to have you here. You've got to dance to the music. Yeah. Okay, so the first shortlisted colleagues are Ottilie Baker and Atik Mia.
Ottilie and Atik have done a brilliant job of providing an insight into Muslim patients and their needs in a truly accessible way through the new Muslim Patient Care document. Ottilie's design adds value to Atik's comprehensive and fascinating text, also sending a message that the Trust takes inclusion seriously.
And the next shortlisted colleague is Mel Miney.
Parents and families are increasingly diverse, and it's important they all feel included and welcomed when they attend the neonatal unit. Mel has proactively engaged with families to ensure they feel represented when their babies are cared for on the neonatal unit. This diversity is now better reflected in the photos and pictures displayed on the walls of the unit, and LGBTQ+ families in particular have welcomed Mel's initiative.
And then we have the Barton Gate Continuity of Carer team.
In areas of highest deprivation, women are 3 times more likely to die in pregnancy and childbirth. The 7 midwives who make up the Barton Gate Community of Carer team look after women from the highest area of deprivation and ethnic diversity in Gloucester, caring for them from the first booking appointment through to the point of discharge to the health visiting team with their newborn baby.
And our colleagues Michelle Pashley and Fran Wilson.
Michelle and Fran have been determined to take the stigma out of menopause and make it a subject that can be openly discussed at work. They have encouraged colleagues and managers across the Trust and the wider system to talk openly, providing support, encouragement and a sense of community.
And the award goes to Mel Miney. She's not here. Get the music off. Yes, yeah. Are you coming to get it? So Mel has also chosen to go on holiday. Yeah. So I'm very pleased that her colleague is here to collect the award on her behalf. Well done. Oh, okay.
The next award is for the Outstanding Clinical Leader. As part of our commitment to developing inspirational leaders, we recognise clinical leaders who create a positive environment for their teams. Each of the shortlisted candidates recognises talent, shares their skills, and puts patient care at the heart of their role, while inspiring and motivating others. If an ID medical rep would like to join us on stage, please do so. And the first nominee is J. Marie Garcia.
Ward 6B manager J was described as a shining example of passion, commitment and care for both patients and colleagues. She creates a positive environment for patients, staff and everyone who comes to the ward, recognising and supporting colleagues' skills and talents. J has made the ward an incredibly positive place to work.
And the next nominee is Sally Hayes.
Described as an inspiring, committed, motivating, kind and compassionate leader, nothing is too much trouble for Sally, who is available at any time to help her team. Noted for the joys she takes in seeing members of her team progress and grow, her nomination said, "Sally just gets things done, always."
And the next nominee is Henry Steer.
As clinical lead for respiratory, Henry has been an outstanding leader for his team and the wider trust when faced with the COVID-19 pandemic. He has ensured the department is safe, effective, resilient and well managed, with a focus on team morale for his clinicians, nurses and admin staff. He has overseen major change and led the development of respiratory high care, which freed up critical care capacity to look after the most unwell patients.
And the winner is Henry Steer.
It's lovely. Well done, congratulations. And now we move on to the Living Our Values Award. This new award is designed to recognise a team or individual who exemplifies our compassionate culture and lives our values, caring, listening and excelling every day. If an Abbey business rep would like to join us on stage, please do. I'm looking around. Yes, no, no. I'm getting a no. Okay. So, the first nominee is Deborah Elliott.
Throughout her 25-year career in critical care, Deborah has shown determination to ensure that our patients receive the highest level of empathetic and compassionate care. She consistently creates a work environment where staff feel at ease to speak up and raise concerns, where our values of caring, listening and excelling are promoted on a daily basis.
And then we have the Patient Support Service, PALS and volunteers.
Like other services, our patient experience team needed to adapt during the pandemic to support patients, relatives and colleagues. Not being able to have regular contact with family and friends has a huge impact on patient experience, and this team adapted to work differently to make sure patients and families got the support they needed. The Patient Support Service team took over 6,800 calls, delivered more than 1,100 messages, letters and photos to patients, and collected 4,500 belongings from relatives who were unable to visit. Staffed by our amazing volunteers at both sites, the belonging service proved extremely popular and was available 7 days a week.
Amazing. Yeah. And our next nominee is Jill Ham.
Her nomination described Jill as a fantastic physiotherapist and advanced practitioner who embodies our values. Friendly and approachable to staff and patients, she puts even the most anxious patients at ease by truly listening to them and hearing their stories. An exceptional clinician, she also puts time aside to respond to colleagues, noticing if anyone is feeling down, to sit down with them to ensure that they are okay.
And the award goes to Deborah Elliott.
And now we come to the Richards Family Bursaries. This award to support nursing training was established by the Richards family in 2018 in memory of Mrs. Diane Richards. This year, there are 3 bursary winners to compensate for the gap caused by the pandemic. If there is someone from the Richards family or a representative who'd like to come up on stage, please do so now. And the awards go to Daisy Harris, Loella Williams, and Joe Davis.
That's so nice. Well done. So good to have you with us.
The next award is the inaugural Richards Nursing Module Bursary. The Richards family has generously offered to support a nursing degree module to the value of £5,000. Open to registered nurses of all levels, this module is designed to support continuing professional development in addition to that offered by the Trust. This is awarded to Claire Pollock.
Yeah, we love that last year as well. This is why it's wonderful. That is so wonderful. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Unsung heroes. I think we've got rather a lot of unsung heroes in our trust. Many people make a huge contribution to the trust, but may have a lower profile than colleagues in other departments. So this award goes to recognise that everyday heroes who are truly inspirational. The shortlisted candidates are the mortuary team.
The mortuary teams carry a serious responsibility on behalf of the Trust. They have a consistent stream of arrivals and dispatches, as well as supporting families who come to view a loved one, a difficult and emotion-led role that requires the greatest sensitivity. Despite the pressures of the pandemic, they are always welcoming, helpful, and provide proper respect to the bodies in their care.
I know. And the next shortlisted candidate is Siobhan Harper.
Described as an incredible rota coordinator and nominated by many of her colleagues, the consensus was we couldn't manage without her. Shiv manages the difficult task of organising the emergency department rota with efficiency and thoughtfulness, and truly cares about the well-being of the doctors.
Yeah. And our next nominees are the Deep Clean teams. Yeah, very good.
During the pandemic, our deep clean teams have been amazing, cleaning wards, side rooms and other areas to maintain safety for staff and patients. At the beginning of the pandemic, they cleaned clinical areas when very little information was available and at possible risk themselves, always maintained a positive attitude as they performed this essential role.
And the award goes to Siobhan Harper. So I understand that Siobhan Harper is on holiday. It's very popular at the moment. I don't know whether there's another colleague from the emergency department who would like to come up and receive her award, please. They're all on holiday. Okay. Okay.
The next award is the Healthcare Professional of the Year. This category was designed to recognise an outstanding individual who has demonstrated consistently high-quality care. They have achieved the highest standards of patient safety, experience and outcomes. If an ID medical rep would like to join us on stage, please do so.
Yeah.
And the first nominee is Aloy Okiki.
Aloy is a clinician who puts patients at the heart of everything he does, working tirelessly to ensure their treatment is of the highest quality and checking that they understand what is going on and the next steps in their treatment. His nomination describes him as the epitome of a kind, humble and dedicated colleague who offers the very best service to patients.
And the next nominee is Rita Mora.
Rita's colleagues admire her ability to support patients and their families. Although she only qualified 2 years ago, she is an inspiration to anyone who wants to go into healthcare. To Rita, every patient is an individual with a name, a family and a story to tell, which makes her a credit to Ward 2B, the surgical division at Gloucestershire Royal and the wider NHS.
And the next nominee is Selina Marshall.
Selina's colleagues said that she held the team together through the last 2 years of the pandemic. She has fully supported her staff when recovering COVID-positive patients, while Selina's positivity, strength and adaptability have guided her team through many challenges.
And the next nominee is Camille Mata.
Camille's colleagues have witnessed the effort she makes to comfort patients and put them at their ease. Her compassion and positivity shine through even when the ward is very busy, and she also takes the time to support colleagues, especially those who are newly qualified.
And the award goes to Aloy Okiki.
Good. Well done. Thank you. And now the Patient's Choice Award. Have a little pause. This award is more popular with patients every year and is now established as a firm favourite for those wishing to give a vote of thanks to our staff. We're very lucky to have so many colleagues who go out of their way to deliver exceptional care. The shortlisted candidates tonight were chosen by the awards panel from a very strong field, and it was incredibly difficult to select an overall winner. So congratulations to all of them for providing outstanding care and really making a connection with our patients. They are Georgia Mather, the Oncology Practice Development Team, Laura Ferguson, Dr. Vellian and the team. And now I think we're going to see the patient choice film.
We suffered our first miscarriage in 2016. We used the early pregnancy assessment unit, but because obviously it was the first time we'd been, we hoped it would be the last time. It just made everything feel a bit easier, and she just lightened the load. And when you're going through something like a miscarriage, especially when you've had 4, you need any help that you can get, and she was just always there for us.
Dad had been poorly since about November, and we'd had some tests done and everything seemed to be kind of clear, so we were just waiting for some more tests. But Dad just started to seem to get ill, really kind of faint and weak.
After I initially phoned the chemotherapy helpline, they put me in touch with the practice development team, and they seemed to be the ones that are investigating this type of problem.
I've been coming for treatment or sort of procedures for the last sort of 3 years here. They are really kind, caring, considerate. They listen to what you've got to say, nothing feels rushed.
We started trying for a baby in 2019, fell pregnant really quickly, unfortunately miscarried, like I said, in the first miscarriage, and then I got pregnant straight after, which unfortunately I went to my 12-week scan and I'd had a miscarriage. So I went to the hospital, and she was the first member of staff that I actually met on the unit, which I'm forever grateful for.
Everyone on the GPA unit was amazing. We went to other wards as well, and I've been on other wards with other people, but there's just something different about them. And Georgia, it was just her and the way she cared. She cared for my dad, but she also cared for us as well.
Alison very promptly phoned me within half an hour of my initial phone call to the helpline, and was very understanding and reassuring and knowledgeable, and put my mind at rest because I was worried it was something much worse.
I remember driving home with my husband, and after everything that we'd been through that day, the only positive thing we could say was, wasn't that lady so lovely? And
we got told by the sonographer that there was something missing within the heart. There was something that she couldn't see. And while we were sat waiting, Laura just happened to be about to go home, and she ran around the hospital for about half an hour trying to find answers for us.
They're always friendly, they're always kind, it's a nice atmosphere. It can be quite undignified for a woman to go through a process or procedure like that, but you never feel like you are.
She treats you as an individual, and she wants to make sure that every experience you have at the hospital is positive, regardless of kind of the situation. She wants to be that support to you.
I knew she would be, if something happened in that time I took to get there, I knew that she was going to be with him, and so it made all the difference. It was almost like we'd put our trust into her to look after Dad.
It did make me feel like I wasn't just that lonely person, because you can feel like that with chemo. The funny things that go wrong, you think, oh, why has that happened to me? Because you don't see anyone else to compare with, and especially with COVID, there were no groups that we could go to share our story, so that was reassuring.
HA Tildy, she always used to make me laugh and feel comfortable. She'd hold my hand, and it was just that comfort, that little bit of comfort that maybe she didn't need to do, but made me feel assured and secure.
So yeah, so I had my final miscarriage with twins. Laura was always like, although I was in hospital, like I still kept her up to date, and she still, you know, kept an eye on what was going on with me personally. And that's when then I'd had the final miscarriage. So it was like, yeah, okay, we need to do something and we need to put a plan in place.
Really appreciate when someone does spend some time with you or does go the extra mile to listen and try their best to see how they can help.
Helping couples, helping women and being there for them and just trying to make a really dark time slightly better, and that's what drives her, and it really shows.
It was just her nature. She almost lights up the ward. That's how it felt for me, and I felt safe.
I just felt I could trust them, and that if I did need anything, they would ring me back.
They were just really kind and caring.
But there was just something extra about Georgia that just made us feel she was almost part of our family during that time.
I had a baby, yeah. I have a healthy baby boy, yeah. So he's now 8 months old. You were never just a number. You were always cared for, and you could tell she was so empathetic to you, and she just wanted you to have that baby too. Like, she was so on the journey with you, and that just made the world a difference.
She really goes out of her way for people to make them feel special.
It's so beautiful, isn't it? So moving, and it captures our work so well. So congratulations to everybody who was in the film, and the winner is Laura Ferguson.
Well, that brings us to the end of the awards for tonight. Thank you for coming. Thank you for celebrating. Hope you've enjoyed the evening and hear some of the wonderful stories. Thanks again to the sponsors and supporters who've made this evening possible. There will be music and dancing for those who want to stay late. If you're a runner-up, don't forget to collect your certificate on the way out. Anna is here to take photographs of everyone, not just those who are nominated or who are winners. So if you'd like your photo taken, Anna will take your photo. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much.
If my microphone is still on, I wanted to thank Mark for being my co-presenter. And I don't know if we've still got Atik Mia in the room, because if so, I think he and Mark should have a round of applause for being our wing walk wonders.